Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And my question of today is, are you guys happy with the way that crypto is going? I woke up today not too happy. I was looking at the charts, I was looking at some other crypto news, I was not feeling good. But after everything I've seen today, after watching it all, I can say for sure that I'm a happy man. Right, I keep looking at this type of stuff throughout the day, and I can say I'm genuinely happy with everything that's happening in crypto. And I just reminded myself how lucky we are that we're in the first couple of years of these maybe decades of crypto adoption phase and eventually just proper usage that's still to come, right? We're in the first couple of years of crypto being alive, and I think that this is going to be a new baseline where the internet set a new baseline for, I guess, the newer internet era, where cryptocurrency, or at least blockchain technology, DLT, is also going to be setting another baseline for technology that's going to be built on top of all of this. I find it really crazy to grasp that 95% of the people don't know a single bit of how this stuff works. We're still early, remember that, and we're lucky. We're lucky somebody threw this on top of our path. All right, crazy excited about that. That stuff keeps me going, man. I'm really a lucky man. All right, so first of all, billions of gold are moving to Bitcoin. And by the way, we are giving away 250 XRP if we can get 1,500 likes in 24 hours. Some of you guys said, man, Dusty, stop with the giveaways. Some of you guys said, man, we love them, keep them going. It's a difficult one. I do these giveaways purely because I started the whole crypto YouTube thing because of one crypto giveaway. So I like to do them because they might result in you getting more involved with crypto, and they may make you a lot of money ultimately, or may get you excited about everything if you didn't have much before. On the contrary, I also sometimes think stop it because, well, first of all, you've heard it 1,000 times before, and I don't know, maybe a lot of people are not excited about a small little giveaway, or not excited about it, me giving away money, because what would be the purpose, right? Maybe you just like the news, or you don't like the freaking giveaway announcement every single time. I get that. All right, it's always a thing that I have to kind of think about which one is better for me. But right now, it's just kind of a reward system where if you guys get those likes, I give away some money. And I like it that way. But then 3 things you have to do: make sure you press the like button, make sure you comment something, and make sure you're subscribed. All right, then again, I thought about this system for so long. Billions of gold are moving to Bitcoin. I've thought about this for so long, guys. I read a lot of these articles, and I tell you guys every time that they say gold is the better store of value. But I come back to that every single time saying, I don't think it is. I think if we had to compare these two assets over a period of, let's say, 10 years, that Bitcoin will most certainly outperform gold. Now, then comes the question, what do you consider a store of value? Because if we were to look at pure volatility, I think gold would win. And in a certain way, I would say a store of value is something that keeps its value under all US dollar circumstances, or not reliant on what the US dollar does. It keeps its value because it has some real underlying asset, or something real. Something, what do you call it? Intangible? Again, I'm not a native English speaker, guys. Please, if I don't know a word, don't come at me in the comment section cursing me, all right? I try. So with gold, the thing is, I think it's a lot more stable in that sense that old people, I've said it before, old people should be liking it more, because the older you get, if you're, let's say, for example, 80 years old, you should have either a higher percentage in bonds or just in safer assets, because you might not be able to bear the risk of 10 more years of a downfall in crypto, right? Which can happen. We don't know. It can. However, if you were to look at pure estimated results and, again, estimated returns, I think Bitcoin is just way, way, way higher, which also stems from the bigger volatility that it brings with. So from that perspective, I think for everybody 65 years and older, Bitcoin and crypto in general are the way to go. And I mean, then it's not only Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just the biggest store of value, which, again, a lot of this gold money is coming in from. But those are more risk averse than all the guys going for altcoins. And that's something you should consider. A lot of these guys that are moving on, and these institutional investors, they're doing this because they want to go for the less or least riskiest route into cryptocurrency. They know crypto is the future. Yet, they don't want to experiment with altcoins except for maybe a little bit of Ethereum already, because it's too scary for them, and for a lot of these other cryptos, there's not proper jurisdiction on it yet, or legislation or regulation, whatever. So they're first of all waiting for that, but on another end, they're also just not as eager to take these higher risks with, of course, higher returns in the end, which we as consumers with not that much at stake. I mean, yeah, you may have a huge sum of your capital at stake, which is your personal money, but you may not be responsible for tens of thousands or maybe even hundreds of thousands or just a lot of other people's money. It's only your own. It's only maybe your friends that might have built on top of your ideas, but it's not that many. All right, for some of these guys, they cannot bear the risk of just these assets which have such high potential for returns like XRP, but also the higher volatility that comes with. And so I understand that. So that's why I'm never really angry that these guys don't go for coins like XRP, and why I also understand that it's a logical move to go from gold to Bitcoin, and later on, once you already have some pace, you go for Bitcoin to XRP or something like that. But right now, they're just adopting. You guys get it? All right, they're adopting the crypto. They're starting to get in. They have to explore the risk. They have to explore the environment and how it all works. And after that, they'll move in heavily, guys. I'm excited for it, though. Then CME leveraged funds doubled down on shorts as Bitcoin maintains 19,000. With this one, I got to tell you guys about the story of 2 days ago where we saw some guy stating we should sell just under 20,000 and only buy Bitcoin back once we are above 20. And I said there's a couple of reasons why that idea is good and a couple ideas why that one is very, very dumb and will result in a lot of losses most likely. Now let me quickly rephrase why it's a good idea. Bitcoin has a very big barrier at $20,000. We've all seen that. We all know that. So selling just under it has the highest likelihood of being the point where everything falls back down, right? If you sell at 19.8 thousand, you have a very good chance that the price will fall down at least a little bit before trying to touch 20,000 or just falling down from here correcting. There's a high chance because it's a pretty big resistance. On another end, a bad reason would be if we do manage to breach 20,000, there's a good chance it's going to be a freaking non-stop rodeo ride all the way to maybe like 22,000 or something like that. Because if we breach 20, it means there's just all hands off deck. It's just full on rocket ship upwards because people are going to go crazy excited in the speculational area where a lot of people put their money in. And the thing is, you can say, okay, you know what, you're going to buy just above 20,000, but it could be, like we've seen before, that Bitcoin hits 20.4 thousand, for example, in one huge move, but then it falls back down to maybe like 16 or so in just a couple of seconds after that. As you may have seen that before, that prices just quickly hit the top and then fall back down. It's just like a shadow. It's not really a proper candle being created over there, which sometimes does happen for maybe, for example, a flash crash or a huge whale buying some crypto. It has happened before. And the thing there is that you might have had your order at 20.4 thousand, it just barely hits it and then falls back down to the ground. You've just bought and sold a lot of, bought and lost a lot of money in the span of a couple of seconds, So that's where the risk comes in. However, there are more people speculating that because we did not go through at 20,000, we're going to be falling back down. But all I can say about this is these guys love taking risks and they want to time the top because there's so much money to be made if we fall back down. You may say, okay, if we go back upwards or upwards more, there's a lot of money to be made, which is true. But you got to consider a lot of these guys want the prices to go on down. There's always people like that. And there's much more money on the way down than the way upwards on a shorter term. Because if we fall, there's a high likelihood that we're going to be fall by like 35% or so. If you have some leverage or you have a lot of money in that, you may make yourself a freaking fortune in just a couple of days. Of course, you have the same, theoretically speaking, chance on the upside, but the downside is sometimes a little bit easier or a lot more money in a shorter period of time. Again, this just depends, but it's about the bigger idea and the big picture. A lot of people are timing for this. So it's not really strange that some of these guys are also backing up now or going to double down on shorts as, again, this whole $20,000 area, some may say 19, I call 20, is a pretty big area of resistance, and thus there's a good chance we're going to correct before actually breaking through. Yeah, so I get that. It's not a bad thing, though, because we know the fundamentals that are driving crypto adoption right now and that there's huge whales buying in en masse, right? Oh, heavily. 50K Bitcoin in 2021. Bloomberg analyst joins the traditional onslaught driving Bitcoin's rally. Not really important, this whole podcast. Is just important to know you're not the only one who's thinking bullish on crypto, guys. You're not the only one. I'm there. A lot of others are there. A lot of billionaires are there. Understand it. Citigroup helping world governments build digital currencies, CEO says. This one made me think about how XRP is actually helping to build CBDCs as well, or actually more so Ripple. It's something people don't really talk about that often, how CBDCs can be built with the help of Ripple and how they're already actively doing that. So CBDCs are not really well known throughout the world just quite yet. They're only known in a handful of people's minds, so to speak, where a handful of people are actively working on them, and let's say a couple thousand people, maybe let's say 100,000 or maybe like 500,000 people at max know that cryptocurrencies in that sense, CBDC, central bank digital currencies, even exist, I'm going to say not more than 500,000 people have ever heard about a CBDC. I can almost put money on that. Almost nobody that I've talked to that invests in like XRP that's not fully devoted to the crypto community that I've talked to knows about CBDCs, and that says something. If you do own cryptocurrencies, which is already just a very small percent of the world, and even a huge portion of that does not know about it, it means it's very, very small still, and it's very, not necessarily a small scale because of what's going on, but I don't think in China they mention CBDC, the word in that sense, a lot. I think they have a different name for it there. So even though you may say, okay, in China, a lot of people are using it already, so they know more about it. I'm kind of excluding China from my whole region here because I don't know exactly what they tell their people, because their CBDC is not a native CBDC how I see it. Right? If you want to compare those views, look up what a CBDC is, check out how China is doing it, and then check out what exactly the other side of the world is looking to do with it. It's completely different, and I don't think China has really gone for a central bank digital currency in the sense that we would have liked it to be. It's just a digital yuan. Again, based on their complete regime, it's just kind of stupid. It doesn't really change much in my opinion. There's not really anything new in that sense. However, opinions may diverge on that one. I just personally think, again, that we should also consider how Ripple could excel in this area if they get the chance to, which they might still. They're working on that, I personally think. Then I loved this art here. I love. I don't get how they have such a huge budget to keep making all these art pieces, because I do think it takes a lot of time. It will send BTC on-chain analyst says Bitcoin holders are only getting stronger, which I had an article for here, but I guess it's in the other video here. Yeah, it's not in this one right now. I have an article open, but I guess it's in the video that's coming out after this one to showcase you guys some statistics on how many holders are just holding on steadily. I mean, greed index is through the freaking roof. And for XRP as well, people making new addresses right now is just very, very low. For XRP specifically, it's because of Spark, a huge chunk of it that people are not making new addresses or not really transacting. But for Bitcoin, it's mostly because we're all expecting something bigger, and we're all hoping for that 20K breach. And of course, Willy Woo here and some of these other bigger analysts say 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 and stuff like that. I personally don't attract anything towards those. I don't think anything about them. I just think $1 trillion Bitcoin is very much possible. It will happen soon. $1 trillion XRP is maybe not possible this year, maybe not possible next year, but it's surely possible, and it will be coming. All right, when? I do not know. But for a top 3 crypto to be worth 1 trillion? Yeah, all right, it's just a matter of time. The same way in which a lot of these huge companies right now, like Amazon, Apple, Alphabet Inc., you guys get it, those will be worth eventually, more trillions than they are now. They'll expand at least by 4-fold or something like that, maybe 8 trillion, 7 trillion, 4 trillion. A couple years ago, maybe let's say 15 years ago, you couldn't have expected one of these companies to already hit 2 trillion, right? And they've done it. You couldn't have expected it because it wasn't really fathomable, because it wasn't in reach. And the same thing happened for crypto. 15 years ago, crypto wasn't even there. Think about that. 15 years ago, how many people were using YouTube? Was it even there already? I don't know. Maybe 2006 was the first video. I don't remember. But you guys get that? 15 years, a lot of stuff changes. Trillions can easily flow in. I keep reminding people of that. That's my personal belief, though. Ripple capital firm calls XRP an amazing investment. Will the price rise to $1? So I've said this before. FRMO Corp defends bullish case on XRP digital assets. FRMO owns 62.8 Bitcoin, 34 Ethereum, 500-ish Litecoin, among others, as part of an investment strategy, which, to a certain degree is a lot because, 60 Bitcoins is a lot of freaking money. On a certain end, I mean, if they're let's say a less than $5 million company, or they have less than $5 million in crypto, I should actually say, I don't think they really belong to the big guys, right? That's one part. On the other end, of course, if you only dedicate 1 to even 3% of your portfolio to crypto, then $5 million is still a lot, because that means you're a pretty big whale. Because that might mean you have 500 million in total then, if it's just 1%. You guys get the picture. So the bigger question, of course, comes to this $1 price prediction and this $1 idea. Of course, guys, I think we're going to $1, but the question is, are we going to do that now? And to that one, I have no answer, and these guys have no answer for you either. Here's a short little thing that they say. Of course, it refers to Michael van de Poppe, like they always do. In the short term, the trader believes that there are indicators that point to a correction. Therefore, he has set the price between 24 and 30 cents as an important support range, as the image below shows. However, it indicates that it is positive for an uptrend momentum to occur. To do so, he believes that investors should look at Bitcoin's price performance. A fall or rise could mark the beginning of a rally for the market as a whole and a boost for XRP towards $1. So he says, yes, we can do that. I have some more. Let's see here. XRP Ledger just reached a significant milestone. I just wanted to quickly mention again that this is not important. Please don't consider this a huge milestone or something really nice to look forward to, or the price should go up from this. It doesn't really matter too much. And the last one here, Bitcoin reached 40K in 2021. This one's more is just kind of a battle of what do you think will happen within this time period. Grayscale is buying in on large, PayPal is buying in, Square is buying in, all these companies are going in heavily, and that will just continue on. But how far we can go in 2021 is really not going to be depending on this too much, because the institutions will just keep buying in. It's more so, I think, important to see what's happening around that, like what's the situation in the US looking like, what type of institutional investors are hopping on in, what are they saying about crypto, what is the regulation looking like. All those things are going to be very, very detrimental. What are taxes looking like? Because I don't really think this institutional investment is going to be stopping. So $40,000 might just be a very low number for what we're going to be seeing in 2021. That was it for today, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Check out the links below like Webull, Unstoppable Domains, and I'll see you guys again in another one.